What up, though? I'm Cedric Sutton. This is Balance of Power. You came here to learn, so let's get it in. Alright, ladies. Element number 4. Make sure you're responsible. What does that mean? I'm responsible. I'm a responsible person. No, what I mean is take responsibility for the entire date. That means you plan everything, you pay for everything, you do everything. Now, some of you, you can handle that. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have to do blah, blah, blah. Again, try to not get caught up in what you should have to, not to. Like, this is your dude, this is your man, this is your relationship. Don't let that throw you off. So, take responsibility for it all. So, if you can, find a way to get your own money. If you don't have a job, and if, like, let's say you're a stay-at-home mom and he's the one who works, or blah, 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 or even if you're a stay-at-home girlfriend who you all ain't got no kids, you're not even married. If you are in that position, by the way, you're a stay-at-home girlfriend where he pays for everything, you living with him, y'all ain't got no kids. It's gonna sound cold, but girl, you ain't got no excuse to not do all of these things all the time. Like, you, out of all women, this should be you on a weekly basis. What you talking about? You got that set up, another woman will see your life and be like, that life look good, I might want it. So you better, because again, they will. And they will be cold with it too. So, make sure you stay on that. But be responsible for everything. It is a massive, massive, massive weight off our shoulders if a woman takes the work from us occasionally for something fun. Now, we don't really like women taking work from us when you are a manly man. The more masculine you are as a man, the more you feel like working physically anyway, like planning and strategizing and all this other stuff, you feel like it's your job as a man. Now, you will have certain areas, like let's say you do all this stuff, but your wife is better at, I don't know, planning get-togethers and parties where you're like, yes, take that work. Anything that's not within our repertoire and you have the ability to take the work, take the job, go ahead and do that. We like that. We like that. Even with a really masculine man, we're like, yeah, go ahead, because you're the expert in that, run that, go ahead, do that. We're good. But in the realm of, let's say, romance and dating, where it's generally been our responsibility, the world, society, everybody's like, you as a man need to make sure you perform in this way. If you as a woman take that on, and again, we've already talked about the other elements, and one of them is just to do it at all, but if you do it completely. And I say this because there are many women who will try this. You all will attempt dates, but you still will have the man do parts of the work. You'll still have him go, oh yeah, I want to take you out to dinner on Saturday, so can you make reservation? Why are you having him make reservations? Oh, so I'm going to need some money. He gonna pay for his own birthday dinner? Word? I have seen that a lot. I have seen that a lot. Working in restaurants in my past, I've seen where families have come in and the dad is there with the wife, or dad, wife, and kids, and it's his birthday dinner, but then he's the one who pulls out the card at the end of the night. And it sucks, and I can see it in his face. Now, he's thankful that they want to, in a sense, take him out, and they suggest it, but if he's the one paying for it at the end, there's a part of him that feels like it's still him taking care of himself. Even if technically it's his money. If you are the one who handles everything, he will feel better about it. So how can you be the one to pay for it if it's his money? Hopefully, ladies, you have a situation laid out where if you don't work at all, that when he comes home with money or whatever, however it happens, once a month, once a week, every day, whatever, that he breaks you off a piece, and then you can have it in your own separate account. So that way you're not having to only draw from the joint account, which could cause problems, whether it's him seeing where you're making reservations to, or the fact that he might be like, okay, why are you spending money on this or money on that? No one really likes having their money micromanaged in that way, especially if they don't need to. Some people do need some men and some women need to be managed, because being in the financial game for years already, some of y'all got a spending problem. But the point is, a lot of you would be able to handle a certain amount of money. So hopefully it's set up where he comes home with some money, he gives it to you, you put it into an account, and you've got your own personal account that you can do stuff with. So did the money originally come from him? Sure. But because you're in the house, you're a team, you're working together, he's giving you money on your own where you can do what you want. So hopefully what you want to do with some of this money is to do things for him. And that will, ladies, endear him to you even more. Because if he feels like, I give you money because, yeah, I want you to be able to do what you want, but what you want to do is spend it on yourself, he's not going to feel very important on your list. He's not going to feel as lovey-dovey, as endeared to you as he would if he knew he gave you all kinds of money and you could do whatever you want. And what you chose to do was show him appreciation by taking him out to dinner. He's like, of course, he's going to love that. It's going to help him feel, again, it's going to help him see who you are when you have free reign to do whatever you want. Because that is a key indicator of finding out who people are. When they have free reign, free choice, they can do anything and everything. It's up to them. And what they choose to do with that freedom is a good indicator of who they are as a person. So he's going to feel like, whoa, she actually does care about me. Oh, snap. I got a girl who cares about me. He's going to feel good. And another element as to why this is important, ladies, is because it also helps us to feel one of the number one things men need to feel in order to stay in a relationship. And that is trust. More than love, for many of us, trust trumps love. And I can get into that more in detail with other videos, but just know, for a lot of us, that is a straight fact. So we will feel so good. How should I say this? There are very few things that rival the feeling of being able to hand your woman a situation and for her to be capable, smart enough, have enough skill and desire and everything that you can hand a problem or a situation to a woman you trust, and you can trust her to do it completely. Trust her to complete the mission, to do the thing, it builds that trust. So he's like, whoa, like, I didn't have to do anything. She said, come home at this time, wear these clothes, and I just show up, and she did all of this. She calculated the money, she picked out the restaurant, she drove us there, she paid for the Uber, however you do it. She did this, she did that, she did this. He's like, whoa, he will start to feel that thing that we feel of trusting. This is why no man wants a dumb woman. None of us. No man wants a stupid woman. Despite what you may have heard, no man, none of us. Not a stupid man, not a medium man, not a smart man. None of us want a stupid woman because of this main thing. To be able to know that you got a teammate that can handle business, and it doesn't have to be actual business. For all you boss babes out there who are like, oh yeah, I can run a business, it doesn't have to go that far. Just, can you handle having the responsibility of something? We like that. To be able to, what happens if we get sick, what happens if we get hurt, what happens if we're away from home for a while, is the house going to be burnt down when we come back? Are the kids going to be missing? Or can you handle things? This builds that trust for us, ladies. So take responsibility for the entire thing. Do it. Element number 5. This one's going to be quick but cold. Make sure you take your time. Meaning, don't be lazy. Yeah, it's a thing, ladies. No offense, but it's a thing. Now, I'm going to try to say this nice, but at the same time, I need to be honest with you. I'm not doing my job. I'm not helping you at all if I'm not honest with you. You may not like it, but a true friend is not someone who will let you go out of the house with a booger in your nose. They're going to stop you before you go out of the house and be like, hey, you might want to take care of that. So I'm telling you about this booger that is in a lot of women's noses. Alright? So, can't be lazy. You gotta make sure you take your time. What does that mean? That means that many of you are enough of you to make a dent when you start doing things for your man. So like, let's go back to the massage thing. Let's say you have that whole thing planned out for the massage. You start massaging this dude 5-10 minutes. You're like, my hands hurt. And you give up and you're done. Or you plan to make dinner and you're like, yeah, I made dinner, and that's it. You do the one thing and you're done. If you go back to the man video, I'm talking about him going dinner, ballet, and then home. At least 3 things. At least 3 steps to a date. Good dates are at least 3 steps. So if you can't get past 1 step because you're not taking your time, you're not making sure that he feels like you have stopped the clock for him, it's going to mess with his enjoyment. He's not going to feel what you should be making him feel. Okay? So what does that mean in more specifics? He will often feel like you don't have time for him. Often, especially if you're married, you got kids, women are like, I got the kids, Men will feel like the last on the totem pole, because very often we end up being the last on the totem pole. And in order to make us feel like we're not, if you can stop time, stop the clock, stop everything, make it so the world stops because you just want to make him feel that good, he will appreciate that a lot more. Versus if the whole time you're like, all right, well, I'm giving you a massage, but we got to be done by 7 o'clock because the kids are coming home. If you got this dude thinking about time frames, he's not going to enjoy it as much. It's not going to be the same. If you're like, okay, well, we need to have this reservation done by 5 o'clock because we got to go home because... Or if you're on your phone, if you're busy, if you're distracted, if you're moving like this. Ladies, you tend to move a lot faster than us when it comes to talking, when it comes to your energy. It tends to be a little bit more erratic, a little bit more, what do you call that? Hummingbird, squirrel, flitting around. So if you slow stuff down, he will start to feel the romance. He will start to feel the care. He will actually start to relax a little bit because we work, men. And I don't mean just go to work, but the amount of responsibility that you have as a man is a constant thing that we almost never put down. Technically, we can never put our responsibility down, but there are times where we can do it in little pockets, little moments where I can put down my responsibility right now. If you can increase that time, ladies, of him having no responsibility, of him having nothing to worry about other than sitting back and enjoying what you give him, don't make it a quick thing. Don't make it a 10 minutes, my hands got tired. Practice. And if you practice giving massages, ladies, I shouldn't have to say this, but some of y'all, just like I say to the men, some of y'all are stupid. Sorry to say it, I hurt, but I shouldn't have to say this. But don't practice on another man. I don't care if it makes more sense because I need to, my husband's muscles, I need to see if my fingers... You better practice on a girlfriend. You better practice on one of the biggest girlfriends you got. Some female friend. Don't practice on a gay friend either. We still will be bothered. It doesn't matter. Do you want your husband, your boyfriend, your long-term whatever, do you want him flipping out Especially if you used to give whack massages before, but now all of a sudden you good. And he's like, oh, what happened? Did you take classes? And you're like, yeah, I took this class from this guy named Victor. And he's like, who the mother is Victor? Like, that's all he gonna be thinking about. He can't enjoy anything after that. So practice, if you have to practice, practice on a girl, okay? Practice on your mama's feet. That'll be a good practice for you. Feet are tougher, so do that. Just don't use a man. Just don't use another man. But ultimately, this one is about not being lazy. Don't allow your lack of experience of doing this for him to stop you from doing it for him for a good amount of time. Give him the same amount of time that you would want. If you would want him to massage you, give you a full body massage for like an hour, 2 hours, you need to be giving that. If you would want him to have a date with 3 elements of like dinner, then the movie, and then the nighttime enjoyment, or dinner and the ballet and the nighttime, whatever. If you want 3, make sure you got that. You need to do it completamente, completely. You need to finish it. Don't allow yourself to tap out, ladies. Okay? All right. Element number 6. Number 6 is one of the most important. It's one of the most important because it will be the killer of everything you've done before if you don't do this. And it's also one of the most important because it's one of the biggest things that your rivals, ladies, that other women will do with such ability. So you can't afford to not do this. Element number 6 is make sure you're doing it happily. So, what does that mean? That means if any of the other things I talked about in terms of stuff that might stop you, you feeling like, oh, well, I shouldn't have to do this or I shouldn't have to do that, or why am I having to work like this and this is a lot of work, and oh, I gotta massage him for like 2 hours, like he don't be massaging me. You can't allow any of that to throw off your ability to be happy with doing the work for him. Because yeah, you're working for him. He works for you, you work for him. Again, 100%. It's gotta be like that. The team, the relationship will not work if you're not willing to do 100% of your job. And yes, it is your job. And I say this, and I should have said this when I was talking about element 1 in terms of doing it, but I'll say it now. I refer to relationships as jobs because jobs are something that we all do despite. We do it despite being tired, we do it despite being hungry, despite being sick, especially if you're in America. We go to work sick all the time. You do it despite feeling like you should have to, feeling like you should want to. We go to work no matter what. This is your job. You're in a committed relationship. This is your job. You should be happy that you have a relationship. You should be happy that you have a good person. You should be happy that you are able to give to somebody who is giving things to you. So again, try not to be thrown off if your mind starts going to, well, he ain't giving enough to me and he ain't doing, just do your job. Why is happiness so important? Why do you have to give happily? We don't want you to just go through the motions. Again, despite what you may have heard, ladies, men want genuine desire. We want you to genuinely desire us. We want you to want us. We want you to like us, care for us because you want to. Not because we forced you to, not because of some other obligation or whatever. We want it to be of your own free will. Again, despite what you might have heard about, men wanting to control it. It's not really real on the whole. I am going to speak for all men, and I don't give a flow what any of y'all say. All of us have this need, this feeling for the woman that we're with, the woman that we care about, to choose it. We don't want to control you. We don't want to force you to do anything. We want you to want us. We don't want any of the whole gun to your head, like none of that. It's so weird. That's weird. That's some weak dude who's not even a man, classified as like a less than person. That's not us. All of us want you to have real, authentic, genuine desire that comes from you. Not something we forced you, not something we made you do, not something where, like I said, you feel obligated. It's a thing for us. We don't feel like it's real. We already know we could force situations, but we don't count it as a win if we didn't get it happening naturally. We didn't get it on our own. You not giving these things, like all the other elements, you not giving these things happily can murder the entire mood of everything. If you're giving him the massage and you're complaining the whole time, you're giving him compliments but you're like rolling your eyes, you're doing things, you're talking to the maitre d' or the host and you're giving reservations and you say some snarky comment like, my husband made me do this, or like a woman's got to do everything. If you don't seem happy doing this for us, you might as well not do it at all. None of what you do is really going to count, because the whole time we are not going to feel like it's real. It's going to feel forced. It's going to feel obligatory. It's going to feel she's just doing it because it's my birthday. And yes, ladies, you shouldn't just only do this on his birthday or Father's Day or what. It should be on a random Friday night, random Tuesday. If you're trying to do the massage thing, hey, going up on a Tuesday, you know what I mean? So if you're not doing it happily, it's really going to kill every single element beyond that. Every other thing, none of it will matter. No amount of bedroom fun, no amount of money you spent, none of it is going to matter if he thinks that you hate him or hate the act of doing it. That's why I talked about the responsibility portion being the endearing thing, where he starts to feel like, oh my gosh, like I can trust that she's going to do this and she wants to, and it is priceless to us ladies. Priceless. Many men, one, don't get a lot of stuff, and then two, when they do get it, it often feels obligatory. It often feels like, oh, well, it's Father's Day, that's why he's getting it. Oh, well, it's his birthday, that's why he's getting it. Oh, I'm only going to give this to you, these special treats, when you're good, especially if you do any kind of like giving him something only when he's good kind of a thing, like a weird reward thing, like he's 3. It's not going to make him feel good. And that's the goal, right? You want to make him feel good. The date isn't just about the act of going out to dinner, because dude could do that on his own, especially if he the one paying for it. It's not just about, oh, we went to the museum because we said we were going to. It's the feeling behind it, ladies. And you all should definitely understand that. Even more than the men watching this, you all should definitely understand it. It's the feeling behind it. Last portion of this element. And by the way, you probably noticed, ladies and gentlemen, if you should be watching at the same time, y'all probably noticed that I'm speaking slower and more careful and, like I said, softer. And this video might even be longer than the man's video, even though it's 6 elements and 6 elements, but it's because of the nature of how women speak. And this is just another reminder, gentlemen, is that women not only need different word choice, it's different tone, it's different speed, it's softer in nature, it's more flowy and fluid, and I can get into that later. I just realized how long this video has been going on, and I'm like, dang, why is it so long? Oh, that's right, because I'm trying to make sure that the women understand this in a language that can hit their ears way more palatable. If this was the dudes, I would talk quicker, harsher, more to the point of just do your mother job. But I'm obviously talking to you different, ladies. So, last little piece of this. This way, happily, this is the kiss of death. This is the kiss of death for your man getting stolen. Other women will not just do the other things that I talked about, but they will do everything that you won't do happily. They will have smiles on their faces. They will seem fun and energetic whilst they're doing certain things. I know your mind might have went to, bedroom fun or bedroom. Hey, that is one of them. That's a thing. It's still up to you what you do or not, but just know that another woman is not even right around the corner ready to take your man. She right next to you. She might be a girlfriend watching this video with you. Oh no, I wouldn't steal your... Please. You know this. You're a woman. You've been a woman your whole life. When women steal, it's cold. Because women don't just steal your man, ladies. They be jacking whole lives. Meaning, they see your man like, ooh, her man look good. I like the house they live in, the car they drive, the kids, the lifestyle. Your whole lifestyle will get taken by another woman. Like the whole thing, she's like watching and calculating like, how can I replace her? Like take her out and put myself right into that position. You get your whole position taken, not just your man. So ladies, you definitely got to appreciate what you got in terms of your man and your life. But if you don't do it happily, so how it works, ladies, and I'm going to try to tell you real quick. If you want a whole other video about how your man can get stolen, let me know in the description. Alright? So, one of the key ways is, let's say she works with your man. First of all, she's going to be happy and bubbly and boisterous in all these other ways. It's going to make him feel good. Just her general personality. That's one of the first ways that a woman who's going to jack you comes into the situation. She comes in smiling. She comes in happy. She comes in with energy that is, sad to say, ladies, often the opposite of a woman who's about to get her man taken. A lot of times, women won't recognize the good parts and appreciate the goodness of their life or the goodness of their man, and so therefore, you all like to focus on the flaws and the things that you don't have and the things that you can't see versus appreciating what you do have. So the woman from the outside will be in this appreciation mode, happy, go lucky, fun, and if you're down here in the complaining, how come I'm not getting this, blah, 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 it already makes her more just appealing on a plain level. I could go on. The point is, she will do what you won't with a smile on her face and say things like, well, I'm happy to do it. I don't understand. And this is the thing that's the kiss of death for you ladies. Because even more than the emotion is how you all mostly communicate. For men, we communicate based in logic, science, math, statistics, things like that. So she will say a very logical statement. The woman from the outside will say a very logical statement that will stab that dude in the heart. And she will say something to the effect of, I don't understand. What's so hard about making you lunch? If she cares about you, why wouldn't she do that? I care about my man and I make him lunch, and I'm not even your girlfriend and I have no problem doing it. Ladies, she gonna be dropping logic as to why it makes no sense why you, his girl, his lady, his wife, is not doing her job. Why aren't you doing it? Especially then she starts to move into ways in which that man does things for you, but you can't reciprocate. And if you do reciprocate, you got a mean mug, you hating. And she will say that. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do it. And what did I say about the desire? He starts thinking, wow, she's happy to give me what I want and need. My girl at home, no. I know this sounds like a lot of work. I get it. Because it is a lot of work. And especially for you ladies, in terms of having to do more dates, this is more work than when you acquired this dude. But that's how the game go. Because acquisition is elementary. Retention is hard. So that's the end of today's class. Now, I know this class is free, but pay the fee with a thumb. Either up or down, let a brother know whether you love it or hate it. Now, we are a new channel here, so we're trying to grow. Make sure you subscribe yourself. Let other people know about the subscription process. Have them subscribe, share the video, and especially if you have a girlfriend or other friends, moms, cousins, whatever, who need to hear this, let everybody hear it. Let everybody know. And you should be watching this with your man, so he should know too. All right? Now, I know you enjoying these lessons, okay? So, come on back. Click on another video. Get some more learning in. Until next time, no. Deuce, deuce.